Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock Central African time. This is Btv-News, broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Gaborone. I'm Ulibile Samoka. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. The time is now for Botswana to take action on building strong, inclusive economy through beneficiation. Introduction of the Meat Industry Regulatory Authority, MIRA, expected to advocate for the needs of small farmers.
And in sports tonight, the Mesa leaves for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON, scheduled for July 5th to July 26th in Morocco.
And that is Tato Khosimori joining us later on our sport desk. Aman Klababili is interpreting in sign language. Welcome and thank you for joining us. The Minister of Minerals and Energy, Ms. Boholo Kinwendo, says that it is time for Botswana to take action on building a strong, inclusive and sustainable economy that creates the much-needed jobs through beneficiation. Kinwendo shared this at the second edition of the Future of Mining Summit held in Gaborone, where she emphasized that while the mineral sector is experiencing some turbulence due to various factors, it is still a sector with a tremendous potential for driving economic transformation in this country. Solofelo Tombale reports.
As Botswana grapples with an uncertain future with dwindling reserves and a weakening economy, the spotlight has fallen on gaps in its industries that can be tapped for greater value. Among these is the opportunity that lies in mineral value chains. While this has been a focus for more than 5 years, it has become even more vital to take action, leveraging those value chains, as shared in the Future of Mining Summit 2025.
We want to ensure that beneficiation happens not only in the diamond industry, but across the other minerals. And we will be working with our partners to ensure that there are some refineries built in Botswana and that we are getting some level of concentrates out of our minerals before they are exported.
Yes, you can agree with me, there are significant challenges. But alongside these challenges, does lie new transformative opportunities. Opportunities for groundbreaking innovation, strategic diversification within our mineral sector. Truly sustainable growth and crucially, profound localization that will surely empower Botswana.
The summit also revealed optimism around the sector.
The sale and reopening of Taki Nickel mine that we announced earlier this year. And I know we should have reopened it officially by mid of June 2025, but the president was unavailable. Now we stand to continue with the plans to officially reopen this mine. And we expect for it to employ 500 plus people and to inject into the economy over $1 billion in the next couple of years.
Maximising upstream value by focusing on high return major projects like One Underground. And I'm pleased to report this project is ahead of plan. As the 1st of June, the One decline, that's a tunnel. And I'm sure Andrew will talk about this later, but that's a tunnel into the earth that's reached 2,263 metres, making a 14% ahead of the project plan.
It was also highlighted that given the transition to cleaner energy and the need for copper and driving that type of energy, Botswana's copper mines promise to bring in a great windfall in less than 20 years. Solofelo Tombale, Btv News, Gaborone.
The Acting Minister of Lands and Agriculture, Dr. Nduguliti, says the introduction of the Meat Industry Regulatory Authority, MIRA, by government is expected to advocate for the needs of smallholder farmers who in the past years have not fully benefited from their livestock. Dr. Nduguliti shared this at the annual Mokani Farmers Day held at Rankapani Farms near Mokani Village during the weekend. Love more, Mario.
It has been 10 years of consistently hosting the farming community here in Rankapane Farms in Mokani Village, where farmers gather to discuss various challenges they have faced with their agri-businesses. Among the issues that have been raised over the years is regulatory and pricing within the meat industry. Therefore, the ongoing implementation of Meat Industry Regulatory Authority has been cited as the solution in addressing and advocating for the needs of the farmers.
The MIRA Act is expected to regulate the meat industry. The MIRA will also, in its implementation, consider and advocate for the needs of smallholder farmers who in the past have not fully benefited from that produce. A key priority to all this is job creation through the development of the agro-processing industries that promote value addition and support an export-led growth strategy.
Stock theft is among the leading concerns faced by farmers. Therefore, partnerships by farmers associations together with police has been cited as very vital in this regard.
Ka lenaneo la twantsho borukutlhi re thomile dikomiti tsa balemi tse di thusana le ba sepodisi go lwantsha borukutlhi ba leruo. Dingwe tsa dikomiti tse di dira bontle thata mo ebileng tse dingwe re setse re rile thulaganyo ya gore re di tsamaise lehatshe le lotlhe di rotloetsa dikomiti tse dingwe tsa temothuo gore le bone ba ka tlhokomela di tsa bone jalo.
Livestock farming has over the years been dominated by men. However, the government is on a drive to capacitate women to also venture into farming.
As we know, is one of the many sectors in TVET that are male-dominated, and we are very intentional at my ministry in ensuring that the girl child is not left behind in the development of our TVET.
Se thoga sa rona ne le bonne le tembo ha ke la le ma gore go ntse ga tembo mme ke ka ngwana bo mmele bona ba maemo ba tile gona ha ba tile go etelela ba tile go rotloetsega ba rotloetsega.
In the light of current challenges, the Ministry of Lands and Agriculture is finalizing the review of its programs along with the National Agricultural Policy of 1991 to better align with the sector's present and emerging needs. Love Mo Mario, Btv-News, Rankapane Farms, Mokani.
Some children at the commemoration of the Day of the African Child held in Nojani village on Monday have reiterated the importance of proper budgeting and planning by government which reflect protecting their rights and their interests. June 16 is celebrated annually in remembrance of the Soweto uprisings, showcasing the bravery of black South African students who took to the streets of Soweto in 1976, voicing out their outrage at apartheid rule, which was detrimental to their education. Angela Nosa with more.
Children from Nojani village and surrounding areas commemorating June 16 by walking in solidarity, highlighting their plight, calling on decision makers to prioritize their interests in planning and budgeting, ensuring that no child is left behind. The age-old saying goes that children should be seen and not heard, but gone are the days.
When budgets are made, we ask, are children truly being counted? When roads are built, we ask, do they lead to our schools? When money is shared, we ask, does it reach our classrooms, our clinics, and most importantly, our hearts?
It is not enough to say that children's rights are important. Our investment should say the same. Planning and budgeting for children's rights means ensuring that significant resources are allocated to sectors like education, healthcare and nutrition, and child protection.
Rehano gape beso go sedimosa botlhokwa jwa go rulaganyetsa bana ha re plana bana ba lekanyetswa mo budgeteng.
Significant strides have been made within the education sector.
A decade ago, Botswana was ranked 15 out of 52 states on its commitment in allocating a relatively high share of its national budget. The newly established Ministry of Child Welfare and Basic Education is a step in the right direction. The ministry will have a specific budget for children, make child-friendly policies, and supervise their implementation.
Bana le ka gore lo hetole mekgwa ya lona go bona gore lo tsamaelana le diemo tse ka reng ka moso tsa lo tisetsa botshelo jo bo botoka. Ditshwanelo tsa ngwana ga di re ditshwanelo tsa gore a gata ke batho ka dinao.
It was revealed that experts have suggested the need to appoint a child ombudsman to monitor continually if budgets are child-friendly, and should it be agreed upon by relevant stakeholders, it would serve as the springboard for policy makers. Angela Nusa, Btv News, Nojani.
You're still watching Btv News. Thank you for staying with us. Now moving on, Gaborone Central Police have confirmed that the suspect for the murder of a 47-year-old University of Botswana female employee is now in their custody. Station Commander Superintendent Shepson Mbuso says the suspect, a 37-year-old man, handed himself at the Central Police Station last night after he allegedly murdered a woman rumored to be her partner at UB campus on Monday morning. Ungutlile Tamahe with more.
This man, Bantuti Nkarapi, is the main suspect who managed to pass through the corridors of the University of Botswana undetected to a point where he managed to enter one of the offices in search for his 47-year-old partner, who is an employee of this institution. Btv News investigations revealed that this man is not new to committing criminal offences, as he committed the murder of his partner at the time when he is on bail for a case of threatening to kill this woman.
Ya hileng ka di 7 tsa ga May e batho ba ne ile gore ba ratana a re tsura ba santse ba ratana kana ba.
The suspect was on bail for a case of threat to kill. We took the body of the victim to Extension 2 clinic where she was certified dead.
Meko kwana a re tsena teng ba supa ha se a sio mo botshelo ra tswelela re ntse re mmatla go itlhella mo sigong ka bo 10 ra nna le gona gore re kgone go mmona ke bua jana re setse re motswere.
Investigations continue to reveal that Nkarapi, who is a resident of Mokazi village, has a case before court in which his partner had approached court for application of restraining order.
Ba setse ba kile ba ya court mo dinako tse di hitileng ka di 2 tsa ga May mabaka ile ona gore ha gona kutisisano sentle yo wa mosadi a ile go ngora ga gore yo ne wa monna wa mo threaten restraining order gore kana re le mapodisi ke tlhaloganya gore gongwe ha e sale morago ke ha wena yo ile gore o hilwe kana no ile go ikupela go lekgotleng gore o babelesege kana o protectiwe gore boleletse gore nyake mo mathateng ya le motho ha sale morago se restraining order isi bua ke gona ha re tsena teng a se gore le mapodisi gore gore ane gore tla bore ntse re go lebeletse re bona gore o tshela jang because of the restraining order.
The suspect Bantuti Nkarapi will appear before Extension 2 Magistrate Court to answer for a single count of murder. Police investigations are still ongoing. Ungutlile Tamahe, Btv News, Gaborone.
The Minister of Youth and Gender, Ms. Lesego Chombo, appealed to members of Ntladi Khosi to use the Kotla platform to advocate for gender equality and social justice. She also urged them to constantly hold consultative meetings with men and boys to reshape their attitudes around issues of gender-based violence and reproductive health rights of women and girls. Chombo was speaking at a gender mainstream capacity building workshop with members of Ntladi Khosi on Tuesday.
Since time immemorial, the Khosi have played a vital role in Botswana to combat any social ills that threaten to erode the fabric of communities. As gatekeepers who shape the values of their communities, Ms. Chombo cautioned the Khosi against cultural practices that contribute to gender-based violence as well as violate human rights. She urged the Khosi to ensure that women have equal access to land ownership, as it provides them with opportunity to own homes and businesses, and thereby reducing their dependence on men.
You are not just leaders by title, but you're also the moral campus of our communities, and you are the trusted voices of authority across Botswana. Your influence runs deep, and it's highly respected by many Botswana. They truly believe in your guidance to shape their behavior, your guidance to shape social values, your guidance to shape community standards.
Ntladi Khosi is not just an idle house, Issues of this nature are what define and drive our mandate as Dikhosi. Dikhosi naturally are builders of people. They cultivate unity in their communities, and as part of their mandate is to promote the welfare of their communities.
Gender-based violence impacts women and girls' rights to access reproductive health services.
We know that GBV is a human rights violation and that in Botswana it affects 1 in 3 women. So it is important that we also commend the government of Botswana's human rights-based approach, which is consistent with the Sustainable Development Goals. Because the rising violence against women and children is deeply concerning, and it is alarming, and it must come to an end.
Stand behind efforts to improve access to justice, sexual reproductive health services, and protections for survivors of gender-based violence, to create and protect safe spaces for open and honest conversations, especially about issues such as menstruation, sexual and reproductive health, gender-based violence, and perhaps most importantly, to engage men and boys in all of these conversations.
Ministry of Youth and Gender invites religious organizations and communities across villages in Botswana to attend daily prayer sessions and partake in awareness activities designed to help combat gender-based violence. Btv-News, Gaborone.
The church is urged to play a role in creating a safe environment for gender-based survivors and ensuring they are listened to and supported without judgment. The Deputy Clerk of Parliament, Ms. Helen Ketsajwang, said shared this when she was speaking on behalf of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament during the Daughters of Zion annual event held in Gaborone on Saturday. Kelele Somalakai compiled the report.
Daughters of Zion is a faith-based organization created this platform to allow women from all walks of life to tackle different challenges and tap into their feminine power to bring tangible solutions to different challenges in communities. Highlighting on the many forms of GBV, which often leave victims and survivors isolated, the crucial role of the church in supporting such individuals was acknowledged.
As believers, and as members of society, we have the responsibility to ensure that no woman feels alone. This can be achieved through the powerful role the church plays in training up women. The church should be a place of safety, encouragement, and truth. Church leaders and members alike must work to create a culture where survivors are listened to, believed and supported without judgment.
Amen. Bomme re gateletse thata ke GBV go heta borre. Mme mo go tleng ga rona go tla go itlhotlhora dilelo tsone tsele tse di mo go rona go itlhotlhora mahutsana mo go rona. Ra be re nna ga ba tsherere mme
Women are mostly affected by GBV. In this gathering, I would like to highlight that these funds we raise, we will help one of our young people who lost parents due to GBV.
Because all due to the issue of GBV.
In a lineup of women who spoke to issues of healing, wealth creation, and living a life of purpose even after the life's traumatic experiences, the women were empowered.
Don't be a chairwoman. Let the word of God be engraved. Everything that you face, I'm telling you, you have all the weapons. Because every Sunday, when Nero says, listen,
You need to look into the business you want to venture into. Is it a business you have the capacity to grow?
How wealth creation creates that pathway you have as a woman.
Let me pray for you without telling you what your situation. Let me pray for you.
The conference was hosted under the theme From Tears to Cheer, From Pain to Rain. Ke letleletswe Somolikai, Btv News, Gaborone.
In Tswapo North, the Member of Parliament for the area, Mr. Prince Maele, has pledged the donation of 21 cows to support those who get married through the Rea Nyalana initiative. Maele made this pledge when addressing a Khotla meeting at Malaka village, where he stressed why he wants to see more of the constituents married. Love Mo Mario has more.
Rea Nyalana initiative started in 2012 to contribute towards building families by extending helping hand to couples with limited financial backing to formalize their relationships and turn them into official marriages. In Tswapo North constituency, this initiative has received support from the Member of Parliament, Mr. Prince Maele.
I promise that every time there is Rea Nyalana wedding in Malaka, I will give out a cow. I have officiated more than 500 weddings in our district through the program. Now I'm going to give each couple getting married a voucher of 300 pula for makeup purposes.
As this was a quarter meeting, residents shared their views.
We ask that the money we pay be reduced in church because our churches are now run as business. We are asking the government to reduce money charged. Residential plots are a challenge to be allocated in our village. We don't know what seems to be the issue.
Mr. Maele encouraged the residents of Malaka to come up with ideas which will help develop their village and attract more investors to make Malaka a pristine destination in his constituency. Love Mo Mario, Btv News, Malaka.
Well, now in international news, U.S. President Donald Trump has indicated he may send senior American officials to meet with the Islamic Republic as the Israel-Iran war rages on for a fifth day. Speaking to reporters after his early departure from Canada, where he attended the G7 summit, Trump predicted that Israel would not be easing its attacks on Iran, adding that he might send U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff or Vice President J.D. Vance to meet with Iranian officials. Trump is said to still be aiming for a nuclear deal with Iran, even as the military confrontation unfolds. Israel launched its war after saying Iran was on the verge of developing a nuclear weapon. Tata Khosimori on standby to take you through the world of sport.
Thank you, Olibile Samoka. A very warm welcome to the last edition of Botswana Tonight Sports Update. You with me, Tato Khosimori, and here's our leading story tonight. The senior national women's football team, the men's, left for Casablanca, Morocco today, where they will compete in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON, scheduled for July 5th to July 26th. So far, so Badupi reports.
The team departs for Morocco just 2 weeks before the start of the tournament to continue with their final preparations. We will be playing all our group stage matches in the evening. Right now is summer in Morocco, hence we are leaving early to acclimatize and continue with our final preparations. The technical team outlined the team's ambitious goal of going beyond the quarterfinal stages.
Everyone is here with us. Baba Zileng, Marago ke baba go robile ka letsatsi la mosupolo go batla South Africa ba bobedi ba ba tshamekela Mamelodi Sundowns ka gore ne bana le motshameko ka letsatsi la Sontaga.
Having more technical team is a good thing because everyone will be focusing on their specific roles. Our intention is to perform beyond the quarterfinal stages.
Maikelo go gore ga re ka tsamaya la bobedi re ska re ira sepe se le re se kota se ga di quarterfinal.
Okay, as a technical team, re share the videos, re share le.
As technical team, we did all the necessary preparations and have shared all our plans for this year's edition. We are going there to improve our performance from our first appearance in 2022. We have a couple of players who are approaching their retirement and we want them to leave a lasting legacy.
Bangwe yes ba retire so ke gore ba togele the legacy e botoka in terms of retire ga bone le bone ba tsame ba tshwere sengwe ba re ga ba bolella bo monna wa bona re nyame kile ka achieve se le bone ba bona re nyame mogolo o dirile se.
Players promise to play for the flag in order to get the recognition they deserve as professionals.
To just see the president recognize it's a very, very big thing. And I think what motivate knows. So yeah, I think looking at the preparations, Sarona, we'll be able to proceed to the next stage. Like everyone is involved, cutting modi training session at Sarona, and everyone is willing to learn. Yeah, so we're going to do well.
The Mets, who set up a base in Casablanca, have been placed in Group B, drawn with Algeria, Tunisia, Nigeria, and will kickstart their campaign with Algeria on the 6th of July. Tshegofatso Badubi, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Moving on, Tinashe Patswani of Botswana and Johan Theron of Namibia are the boys doubles champions of the ITF Under-14 tennis tournament held at the National Tennis Center in Gaborone. The duo edged out South Africa's Mpoboas and the Botswana's Lebone Tlape 6-3, 6-3. Khomzo Sefako has the details.
The beginning of the first set was a tightly contested affair as the two were locked at 2-2 at one point. Patswani and Tyrone, however, shifted the gears in the fifth game, taking a 4-2 lead. They carried on with the momentum as they kept pushing to seal the first set by 6-3 win. The second set was a copy of the first and it exhibited the same outcome, with Patswani and Tyrone pairing dominating the proceedings with a 4-2 lead before ending the game with a 6-3 victory.
I think we get more aggressive, tried making the goals, more consistency, trying to keep the ball in play. Yes, so that sometimes our concentration was a little bit shaky, but we managed to come out on top.
All the competition, the level got tougher to more towards the end. So,
the girls' final pitted Botswana's Malek Macheng and Zimbabwe's Mandu Ashley, who were against the Zimbabweans duo of Tom Rutendo and Manuneke Ruvarashi. It was, however, the Zimbabwean who came up tops with a 2-6, 6-1, 10-6 win to clinch the girls' double title.
First set, we lost, but it was a bit tough, but we managed to win some games. We lost 6-2, and then second set, we had a plan and we used our plan and it worked really well. We won 6-1, and then third set, we just told ourselves that we should just play and we have nothing to lose, and we won the game.
It was good and pretty tough because I lost my semi-final match, and I'm actually proud of myself because I got into the semis and I lost to someone who's like really good and older than me. Yeah, it was 6-4, 6-2.
The competition concluded on Tuesday with the singles finals. Khomzo Sefako, Btv Sport, Gaborone.
In conclusion, former Mochudi Center Chiefs and the Zebras playmaker Diramoloi says although it was a difficult decision to retire from elite football, he is satisfied with the successes he achieved during his playing days. Moloi said this after pulling curtains on his career at the end of 2024-25 football season. Kariso Molelekwa.
Moloi said after reflecting on his journey in football, he realized that the time had come to make way for new and upcoming players.
It was not an easy decision, to be honest with you. Even now, some of my former teammates from Chiefs, as we speak, they still don't agree. They still have hope. So, I believe there are a lot of talented guys who are coming. For example, if you look at the Chiefs, you look at Ronaldo, you look at Monty, Mahrez. There are plenty of guys, but they made me this because but this boys' talent is there. I mean, I think they can do it on their own now without me.
Spanish Guitar, as is affectionately known in football circles, says one of the things he's proud to have achieved in his football journey is his contribution to every team he has played for, including the national team.
In fact, I started under 15 and coach like Makwengo, if I remember, is the man who was behind my football career, to be honest with you. So I really enjoyed it because there's no step 6 in BCT. So it's only a few of us, what's a million to do that step, which is about Gamma and all that. So I really enjoyed it, to be honest with you, because I want to stay to delay.
The Femonotwani Township Rollers and Mfudisana Chiefs midfield kingpin further said he will not be lost to the game as he intends to continue playing a role in the development of football beyond his playing days.
No, Sana Chiefs is a family thing. For now, if you look at the technical from the big guys, BG, the Yuna, Maniko, and all these guys, definitely they have something for me there. For sure, I know, because we are a family there, we check in. So I'm waiting for them to let me know, okay, now that's the role that we think we can help my team, because to be honest with you, they don't want me to be far from the game. So personally, but by let's say because by the so because you know there's a family thing. Which I agree. Yeah, my brothers, I need to be there with them. I need to help them whenever they need my help.
Diram Muloi, born in 1985, started his senior football journey in 2005 with London FC. 4 years later, Muloi joined Mfudisana Chiefs, where he won the league championship and other titles. In 2010, Malama signed by Vasco da Gama in South African League, and a year later, he returned home to Mfudisana Chiefs. Dirang has also played for teams like Don Bosco in DRC top tier, Gaborone United, and Extension Gunners, among others. Muloi has also represented the country at under 17, under 23, as well as the national team, the Zebras. Kagiso Morekwa, Btv Sport, Gaborone.
And that's how we wrap up Botswana Tonight sports segment this evening. Thank you very much for the privilege of your time. Before we part ways, let's take a recap of our top stories.
The Minister of Minerals and Energy says the time is now for Botswana to take action on building strong, inclusive economy through beneficiation. Introduction of the Meat Industry Regulatory Authority, MIRA, is expected to advocate for the needs of small farmers in the beef industry.
And then sports, the Mets left this morning to fly the Botswana flag high at the Morocco AFCON 2025 final, scheduled for July 5th and to July 26th.
And that is all the news we had for you this hour. Do stay with us. Weather is up next.
A good evening and a heartfelt welcome to today's weather update, proudly brought to you by Faith Ketshabile. Now, currently, clear skies are visible over the whole of Botswana, and for tomorrow, few patches of clouds are expected over northern central, Chobe and Ngamiland. For other parts of the country, we're expecting some clear skies. In the morning, temperatures are expected to be cold over Khantsi, Kgalagadi, south and southeast Gauteng in central and northeast. We're expecting a minimum of 4 degrees Celsius over most areas of Kgalagadi. 3 degrees Celsius is expected in Gaborone, 5 degrees Celsius over Selebe Pikwe and Platjan. Now for Chobe and Ngamiland, mild temperatures are expected, ranging between 8 degrees Celsius over Maung up to 10 degrees Celsius over Kasane and Pandamatenga. Now in the afternoon, we're expecting temperatures to improve to a range of mild over the entire country. We're expecting 22 degrees Celsius over southern part of Kgalagadi, south and southeast Gauteng and Kwening, up to 25 degrees Celsius over Kasane and Pandamatenga. Now for SADC cities, clear skies are expected over Manzini Maseru, Johannesburg and Upington, while over Gqeberha and Cape Town, partly cloudy conditions are expected accompanied by rain. Few patches of clouds are expected over Antananarivo, while for Beira, Harare, Lusaka and Windhoek, clear skies are expected. Partly cloudy conditions are expected over Dar es Salaam and Kinshasa, accompanied by rain over Dar es Salaam. And lastly, for Blantyre and Luanda, few patches of clouds are expected. That's all from the weather forecast. Have yourself a good night.
They need us. Let's raise our flag and cheer on our champions. Arvai.